This is the world map for climates. According to the Koppen classification, there are 31 different climates, all indicated by a different color and letter combination. In this video, I will be simplifying the system and explaining how you can assign a climate to any place on Earth. To start off, let's take a look at all the different letter combinations. These are the 31 types I'm talking about, but actually you can split them into 5 main categories. The letter A indicates a tropical climate, B is for the arid or dry areas, C means temperate, D is for continental climates, and E is for polar climates. So let's take a look at what each of them actually means. Starting with group E, the polar climates, because they are definitely the easiest to explain. To have a polar climate, an area has to have an average temperature of below 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit in the warmest month of the year. If the warmest month has a temperature of in between 0 and 10 degrees Celsius or 32 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit, then we call it a tundra climate, and if all months are colder than 0 degrees Celsius, it's an ice cap climate. Moving on to group A. Tropical climates always have an average temperature of 18 degrees Celsius or 64 degrees Fahrenheit in every month of the year. That's why it nearly always occurs within 10 degrees from the equator. The second thing we have to take a look at is the amount of rainfall. The darkest shade of blue on this map marks the rainforest climate, as these areas receive more than 60 mm or 2.4 inches of precipitation in every month of the year. The AM climate indicates a monsoon season, where there's a period of the year where it doesn't receive 60 mm of rain, and AW and AS are basically the same, but depending on when the dry season is, it gets a different letter. It's pretty much the same as the monsoon climate, but with even less rain in the driest periods. We know this as the savanna climate. On to group B, which are the desert and arid climates, marked red, pink and orange on this map. As you can see, this category of climate is usually found 20 to 35 degrees from the equator. These are the ones that don't fit the polar categories, because at least one of their months has an average temperature of at least 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. The second criteria to be in this category is receiving very little precipitation. A different second letter is added to indicate how dry it is. And the desert climates receive less than 250 mm or 10 inches of rain, and semi-arid areas stay beneath 500 mm or 20 inches of rain. In group B, a third letter is added to tell us something about the temperature. If the average is above 18 degrees Celsius or 64 degrees Fahrenheit, the letter H is added for hot, and if this is not the case, the letter K is added. Now it gets a little bit more difficult as we move on to group C, which is a bit rarer on our planet. The temperate climates all have their coldest months at an average temperature of between 0 and 18 degrees Celsius, and one month with an average temperature of over 10 degrees Celsius. But the difficult thing about this group is that there are 8 subcategories. I'll try to keep it simple. These two are temperate climates with a second letter S to indicate a dry summer, meaning that in the summer it receives less than 40 mm of rain per month, which is equal to 1.6 inches. These three all have a second letter W to indicate that the wettest month receives more than 10 times as much precipitation as the driest month. And these three all have a second letter F. These three all have a second letter F, which indicates that there is no real dry season and there is no true difference in precipitation between seasons. In all of these three categories, a third letter says something about the temperature in summer. If the third letter is an A, it means that there is a hot summer with at least one month with an average temperature of above 22 degrees Celsius or 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's a B, it means that the area has a warm summer where no month has an average of above 22 degrees Celsius, and at least 4 months have an average temperature of above 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. If the third letter is a C, it means that there is a cold summer with only 1 to 3 months having an average temperature of above 10 degrees Celsius. Before we take a look at the flowchart, we have only one more category, which is group D. These are the continental climates, and these are almost only found in the northern hemisphere. The first criteria to be a continental climate is that at least one month has an average temperature of below 0 degrees Celsius or 33 degrees Fahrenheit, and one month has an average of above 10 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, this group is a little bit more complicated as it has 12 subclassifications, which is a combination of these two groups of criteria. But to make it easier, the criteria are just like the temperate climates. So the second letter F means no dry season, meaning that there is no significant difference in precipitation per month, If the second letter is a W, it means that the wettest month receives more than 10 times as much rainfall as the driest month. And if the second letter is an S, it indicates a dry summer with less than 30 mm or 1.2 inches of precipitation. The third letter has the same three categories as the temperate climate, shown here, but the fourth one is added for very cold winters, where the coldest month averages less than 38 degrees Celsius below zero or minus 36 degrees Fahrenheit. So, now you should be able to decide which climate belongs to any area on Earth as long as you have the temperatures and precipitation per month. Let's see if you can do this while using this flowchart. Grab any climate graph you like or use the place that you're currently living in to try it. So, first question, what is the average temperature of the warmest month of the year? If it's colder than 10 degrees Celsius, choose the correct temperature and you have your climate already, but this is one that only occurs in places where almost nobody lives. If there is one month that's warmer than 10 degrees Celsius, you ask yourself, does it receive less than 500 millimeters of precipitation, which is 20 inches? If this is the case, we find ourselves in a dry climate. Follow these rules to decide the second letter and these rules to decide the third letter. If there is more than 500 millimeters of precipitation, we may be in a tropical climate. So you ask yourself, is the annual average temperature above 18 degrees? Check the amount of rainfall and decide which one it is. If it's colder than 18 degrees, ask yourself how cold is the coldest month. If it's below 0 degrees, we're looking at a continental climate, and if it's above 0 degrees Celsius, it's a temperate climate. First, the temperate climate. The second letter is decided by the pattern of precipitation, so choose the one that fits. And the third letter is decided by the summer temperature. Choose again. Today we introduced this amazing map, but there are so many more interesting maps that tell a lot of different stories about our world. Go check it out right here.